Welcome to Optimal Timelines. My name is Sean, and this is going to be your June 2024 mid-year TAROTSCOPE readings for your North Node by sign and house. Now, the reason I use the North Node in tarot readings as opposed to your Sun, Moon, or Ascendant sign is that it's recognized in astrology that your North Node is your North Star. It's what you're here to learn, accomplish, and master in this lifetime. So it's much more relevant in readings than your Sun, Moon, or Ascendant sign. Now remember, you're going to want to watch two videos, one for your North Node by sign and one for your North Node by house. With that, I will connect to the energies and we can begin. I call upon my spirit guides and guardians and the wisdom of my ancestors to bring forth the information that's true and correct for all who see and hear this reading, that it may bring them the most beautiful, happy life possible and set them on their most optimal future timeline. So may it be. Okay, North Node in Aries and or the first house. This is going to be your June 2024 mid-year check-in to see how you are progressing on your soul path. Okay, so for your mid-year check-in on your soul path, the card that jumped out for you is the Two of Cups, and I'm getting for you that really the past several months and really this whole year, one of the big themes for you is about relationships of all kinds, not only with your significant other, family members, work members, but also most importantly, the relationship that you have to yourself. And I know that sounds funny, but we do have a relationship with ourselves. Like, how do we treat ourselves? How do we talk to ourselves? What do we expect out of ourselves? And what I'm seeing for you is that you're in this transformation phase where there's a balancing going on, your relationship to yourself and then how you are relating to others out in the world. Let's get kind of more into this in more detail. Your timeline cards are, you've got the Queen of Swords, you've got the Queen of Cups reversed, and you've got the Eight of Cups reversed. And what I'm seeing here is that for the vast majority of you, there's definitely this kind of inner battle that's going on with your old self and then the self that wants to emerge. The reason I say that is when you see the Queen of Swords, this represents your South Node in Libra. Okay, so Libra being an air sign is always represented by swords, and then the place that you're evolving toward is the Queen of Cups here. But I see that there's a struggle going on. And even though cups don't rule your North Node, which is in Aries, which is a fire sign, what's going to help you through this process is leading with your heart, leading with your intuition. So it's going to help you to navigate this transformation of the person that you're becoming. And so I see that there's still some struggling going on with kind of wrestling with this new person that wants to emerge. And a lot of you can feel it. You can feel that there's this new energy that wants to, come out in your life. Okay. And you're going to be fine. But what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're navigating not with your head, but you're navigating with your intuitive heart. Okay, that's gonna help you to know kind of what to do in different circumstances with different relationships, whether it be with yourself or other people in your life. Now, the Eight of Cups reversed is interesting because this is indicating that a lot of you have maybe abandoned, even though you're connected to your emotions, it may not be the first thing that you go to when you're like navigating these energies and you're going through your life. And so it's almost like it's a forgotten thing. You're not turning your back on your true, authentic self and emotions um, on purpose, but it's something that is almost like a second nature thing, like putting your feelings behind you, what you feel in your heart of hearts, okay? And what you're doing is you're trying to maybe fix things in your life, fix relationships, fix other people, while putting your emotions kind of on the back burner. And that's kind of what I'm seeing. But as long as you are going through and navigating this energy, like from now and through the rest of the year, being authentic and true to yourself, to your true heart, regardless of what other people might think and feel about it, you're going to be okay. Going along with that, your advice cards are, you've got the reversed King of Wands, and you've got the reversed Two of Swords. Now, the reversed King of Wands is, this is something that's representing the energies of your life that, even though you're evolving toward this Aries North Node and first house North Node, which is ruled by Wands, okay, the King of Wands, this card for me is representing people and relationships that could be obstacles to you achieving like your true power. Again, like I said, this is all about relationships with in your life, and also the relationship you have with yourself. But there's a blocking that could be going on with actually real relationships in your life, that is, it's like a detour or distracting that I'm getting. And that's going to be the real struggle, is that it's not, when you start to embody this energy of your North Node and self-empowerment, um, it's not like the red carpet is rolled out for you. Okay, there are challenges into that, because what does it mean to be North Node in Aries or the first house? Okay, this is Mars energy. This is the warrior energy. This is Aries energy, right? And so it has to be challenged. And so these obstacles are going to come up, and the way that you want to overcome them is over here with your other advice card, the reversed uh, Two of Swords. So this is saying that you are releasing the blocking off of your true emotional heart in judging things. You are not going to be blindfolded to the reality of what's going on. You're not going to make excuses for the people in your life that, yes, you care for, but that might not be allowing you to evolve to the person that you need to be. Because what ends up happening with this energy a lot, with a South Node in Libra or the seventh house, is, it's an energy at its extreme that could be almost like a person that is taken advantage of, or, like even abused in some way, you know what I mean? And just not appreciated. And so, they call this in tradition, of astrology, when you have this, like, the dark side of Libra could almost be like a doormat energy. And so this is a time for you to, embrace this power. And as I've always said, if you've watched these videos before, I always say about this energy, when you do the difficult thing and start becoming strong within yourself, with the relationship with yourself and relationship with others, when you do that, you actually strengthen the people that around you, that love you, that care about you, that you care about them. You become stronger for them, and you become better for them. And but it's a matter of kind of getting through that initial kind of pushback with certain relationships in your life. I mean, everyone has to go through it when you have this North Node. Okay, it's just one of those things. So anyway, I hope this reading was helpful to you. This is your mid-year check-in. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions in your life and would like a personal tarot reading that's tailored to you and your astrological chart, there's going to be a link in the description box below for more information. With that, I'll say thank you. We'll see you again on some more videos. Many blessings. Okay, North Node in Taurus and or the 6th house. This is going to be your June 2024 mid-year check-in for your North Node soul path. Okay, yeah, really interesting. So yeah, for your mid-year check-in, one of the things that you've been working on is you've been working on your personal authority in the world, or becoming like an independent authority, someone who is strengthened in their path without being encumbered by, you know, other people or other people's situations. And so you have this Emperor reversed card that came up. And this is something that this is what you're embodying and what you're moving toward, where you are becoming this independent, stronger person, getting solidified within your North Node in Taurus and or the second house. And so this process is always a lifelong process for us on our soul path. But there's something that's really positive right now, that you're very close to a breakthrough where, um, if you can continue to embody this energy, and the way you embody it is letting go of like drama, letting go of dramatic situations with people, with um, maybe toxic emotional ties, moving toward the strong, simpler life of Taurus, where you're getting rid of a lot of the static. Okay, and that's in that south node of Scorpio and or the eighth house, right? And so that's what it means to be moving toward that. You're moving away from all of that south node stuff. The interesting thing is that right now there's an energy, and I think I've seen this for a lot of the north nodes in the last several months. There is this ability to level up, okay, by continuing to do this. Like there's like a breakthrough, and then when you level up, it's like your life definitely gets enhanced in some way. I think we've all experienced, like when we've experienced the cycles of our life where, you know, you're on kind of an upswing. Like you basically, so it could be, you know, if you got into a certain relationship or you got a job or whatever, and the money is increasing, but you kind of feel like you're leveling up. That's the kind of energy that I'm getting from this situation. So your timeline cards are, you've got the Fool card, you've got the Wheel of Fortune upright, and you've got the Eight of Cups. Now, the reason I said that there's a leveling up that's going on is we're going to start with this Wheel of Fortune, right? So this is a situation right now where you're at this point where, if you can continue to embody this Taurus independent energy, cutting away, as I said, like toxic emotional influences that are in your life or in your past, if you can continue to do that, this Wheel of Fortune is saying that you could swing this wheel to go in an upright position where we start to see really positive effects in our life. Now, one of the ways that you're going to do that is with the Fool card. This is about new beginnings, right? And so sometimes, like for this final push, when we're trying to embody something, and we may be struggling with releasing certain things in our life, like I was saying, and before we sometimes it helps before we actually make this leveling up, where we just say, okay, we're going to start this program. It could be an exercise program, a health program. This is the kind of energy that I'm seeing, that it's that similar energy. Not that you're going to be doing that, but like, I'm going to get healthy, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to go back to school, or whatever. But it's this new beginning energy for whatever this is for you, that when you do that, it's like giving you this momentum that's pushing you into your better timeline type of a thing. Okay, so the new beginning energy is giving you this opportunity to like push this wheel upright, so you can get this positive energy flowing. Now, the Eight of Cups, this is saying that, look, this is time. A big part of this is severing toxic emotional ties. That this could be in your past, this could be in your present, okay? But it gets very, very sticky with this South Node in Scorpio or the eighth house, right? These connections, these emotional deep connections run very deep, and you have to learn to where like some of this has to be let go, and that's part of this whole freeing up process, right? You know, most of you that are here know that there are some things that need to be let go of, right? There's certain emotional ties, and when you do that, even though it's difficult, that's how this energy gets free. And remember, what does it mean to be independent as opposed to dependent, right? You're not dependent on these emotional ties anymore. You're becoming independent of them. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean cutting people and relationships out of your life, although it could include that. That's up to your discretion and what you know you need to do. But it's saying like it's time to like not let it affect you anymore. Now, getting into your advice cards, you've got the Four of Pentacles reversed, and you've got the High Priestess. The High Priestess I'll start with because this is what the ultimate goal of your North Node is. Okay, I would say that the two cards that embody you are the High Priestess and the Empress. But in particular, the High Priestess has ties and connections to your South Node, the positive aspects of your South Node. What is that? The ability to feel at a very deep level, the ability to understand emotions and emotional intelligence at a deep level, the ability to go deep into emotional situations and understand them psychologically, as well as emotionally, right? But at the same time, not getting bogged down with letting it hold you down. Okay, letting these strong emotional ties. So it's a matter of when you separate, you're still keeping the strength and the gifts that you have from your South Node in Scorpio or the eighth house, right? And so this is what you're embodying. Now, one of the ways that your other advice card is the way you're going to embody that is you're going to need to release things, okay? Because you could see here the Four of Pentacles. The person has the pentacles over his midsection on top of his head. He's holding them down with his 2 feet, right? So he is holding on to things, okay, holding on to things that need to be released, and that's why it's reversed. So part of this process of becoming independent is releasing, right? Think of the energy of a person that is going off to school somewhere, okay, like a university somewhere, right? They, in order to do that and get independent, they have to leave the nest, right? They have to leave their parents. In most cases, I'm saying, okay, yes, some kids live at home. Okay, people live at home while they're going to school, but you get the energy of what I'm saying is still to some extent, wherever it is you live, you're leaving that nest in order to become more independent, right? You can't hold on, you can't become independent and still hold on to other things, right? And this has to do a lot, like I said, with what you're embodying in your relationships. It doesn't mean that you're leaving anywhere per se, but it's that you are becoming strong within yourself, and you are able to release emotional ties that don't serve you anymore. That's what this is all about, right? So you're very close to really leveling up in your life, and this could see if you're able to do this and really kind of run with this energy, because I can see that a lot of you might be struggling with this. Okay, it's very difficult to leave like old situations, and whether or not the people are still in your life, right? But if you can do that, there's this great leveling up that I see happening for you, and ultimately going into your highest good and highest strength. Anyway, I hope this reading was helpful to you and you found some value in it. If you have any questions and would like a personal tarot reading tailored to you, there's going to be a link in the description box below. With that, I will say thank you. We'll see you on some more videos. Many blessings. Okay, North Node in Gemini and or the third house. This is going to be your June 2024 mid-year check-in for your North Node soul path. Okay, so really interesting. So the card that popped out as a theme that is been really important for the past several months and since the beginning of the year is the Three of Swords reversed. And when I saw this, what I was thinking was, it's really for you right now on your path. It's all about healing from emotional wounds of the past. And I think it's also with you. Some of you could be dealing with this with someone in your life that's um, very close to you. What I mean by that is maybe they're dealing with their heartbreak or heartache, and that you're helping them in some way. So it could be both. It could be something that you're dealing with from your past as well as someone close to you, or it could be one or the other, where it's someone close to you that you're helping through this. But yeah, this is kind of like a big theme of the past several months. If you think about things that have transpired. Now, what wants to happen is there's an evolution that wants to progress in your life, and it's getting you to see things from a different perspective. I feel like you're either seeing things in your own life from a new or different angle or perspective, or helping others, as I said, close to you in your life to do that. So your timeline cards on this mid-year check-in are: you've got the Knight of Pentacles, you've got the Seven of Cups reversed, and you've got the Seven of Pentacles upright. So first and foremost, what we're looking at is, with the Knight of Pentacles, is we're looking at taking the time to see a situation and move forward methodically with that situation. The knight here is holding the pentacle, observing it. Um, Even though he's on a horse, which denotes movement, okay, it's like slow, steady movement, moving forward and understanding what it is he's holding. In this case, this is why certain things have transpired in your life the way they have from an emotional standpoint. So this could be like, like old relationships or even current relationships. And as I said, it could be you dealing with this or someone close to you, right? So you're observing it. The other energy that's going on with this reversed Seven of Cups is there is some emotional confusion, but it's wanting, you're in the process, and why this is, you're in the process of making it more clear. You're getting the confusion um, lifted from this situation, right? Emotionally, so you can understand it better. And you, as I said, you're helping people in your life also to do this if it's not personally for you, right? One of the ways that we could do that is the gifts of your North Node that you're embodying is the gift of seeing many sides of a situation. So for Gemini in the third house, it's getting input from multiple areas of life, getting seeing things from different angles. Okay, so this is all kind of helping you do this, right? And so that's how you want to look at it. Like, for example, I'll give you a quick example. Let's say that there is an old emotional wound that you are trying to make sense of, that seems confusing on one end, or you don't really want to deal with it on another end, right? But it's something that you haven't made sense of yet, right? One of the ways to make sense of it is maybe look at it in new ways, get input from other people. And again, this is all like a Gemini North Node thing. Like, it could be anything from like talking to a counselor or a therapist or talking to a friend or whatever, or just saying like, hey, this happened. What do you think about this situation? And if you don't do that, at least start to look at it from a different angle. Well, like, because sometimes we can get locked into like seeing things that have happened to us in one way only. But a lot of times if we kind of like look at it in new ways, we're like, okay, I can kind of see why this happened and why this person acted this way and whatnot. Okay. So this is about the confusion lifting from this emotional situation for yourself or someone close to you, right? And then with the Seven of Pentacles, this has a dual meaning. This has a meaning of being patient through this process, because sometimes with this placement in astrology, this North Node, sometimes patience isn't always the easiest thing, right? But the first meaning is patience, but also when this situation is dealt with and the confusion is lifted, your life starts to grow again, and you start to get positive growth because whatever this situation is, it could be hindering you or someone close to you in their personal growth or your growth, right? So that's freeing this up. There's something that's in it for you, is having you grow in in ways. And either way, the key here is being able to see situations from multiple perspectives. That's what this is all about, whether it be for yourself or someone else. Now, what are your advice cards? You've got the Judgment card reversed, and you've got the Queen of Swords reversed. So what this is saying is that the challenge here is that the situation is confusing because the perspectives are not able to be kind of changed in the situation, right? So the reverse Queen of Swords is, this is using like logic, intellect, methodical thought, and saying like, okay, let me understand this better. Let me try to look at this in new ways. Okay, that's what this is saying. That's an obstacle right now, and what you want to do is embody this Queen of Swords energy, which is your North Node, right? Because Gemini in the third house is ruled by the suit of swords, right? So this is what you're embodying. And then the other thing here is with this Judgment card, this is like kind of a wake up call, right? So you're being asked to do this, and I think the universe has been trying to get you to look at, these situations in your life, these emotional situations, for a while. But whenever I see any of the, tarot cards that have an archangel, this is like a very karmic thing, right? So this situation can really put you far ahead on your path, and you could start to see like real benefits in your life when you start to like understand and unravel all of this. But essentially, in a nutshell, what this is seeing emotional situations, old emotional wounds, old emotional things that have happened in new ways to understand them better and get new perspectives. Okay, that's what this is all about. And it could be for yourself personally, and or it could be someone very close to you that you're helping. But either way, you sometimes when we help other people, it helps us because we can start you can start tapping into that North Node easier because you're helping a person close to you see it in new ways, and that helps them heal. So either way, you're kind of getting the benefit from this. Anyway, I hope this reading was helpful to you and you found some value in it. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions in your life and would like a personal tarot reading tailored to you and your astrological chart, there's a link in the description box below. With that, I will say thank you. We'll see you on some more videos. Many blessings. Okay, North Node in Cancer and or the fourth house. This is going to be your June 2024 mid-year TAROTSCOPE reading check-in. Okay, very interesting. So the theme card that popped out for you for this mid-year check-in and what you've been working on is the reversed King of Cups. Now, this card is what you're embodying in your North Node. So obviously, you're moving toward uh, Cancer, okay, the sign of Cancer, and or the fourth house, which is everything about emotions, the family, um, connecting to emotions and family situations, and the home. Everything related to that, as opposed to Capricorn, right? But the difference of, let's say, we're going to look at two archetypes. The difference between the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups is they're both emotionally intelligent, and but they're embodying emotions in different ways. So no matter what your sex or gender is while you're like watching or listening to this video, the difference between the king and queen is a masculine emotional energy or a uh, feminine emotional energy, right? And this is embodying the best of your south node in Capricorn, or the 10th house, right? Which is Capricorn, you know, is rules the father. And a lot of times it's kind of a little bit more of, it's not traditionally like a masculine sign, but it has a more masculine uh, feel to it than the sign of Cancer, right? It's a different flavor of emotional energy. And so what you're doing right now is you're learning to move into this more powerful self emotionally, but keep the best of the gifts that you already have from Cancer, or excuse me, from Capricorn, or the 10th house. Now, on your timeline cards for the mid-year check-in, you've got the Ace of Pentacles reversed. You've got the Nine of Swords reversed, and you've got the Ace of Swords reversed. Now, what's going on here is the challenge that I'm seeing for a lot of you is there could be a lot of challenges going on with, you know, for a lot of you, either money, finances, or property in some way. And it could be causing some worry or stress. And this could also be, even if it's not directly affecting you, even for some of you that maybe are better off financially, it could be something where you're thinking of, you know, you're worrying about things maybe like, investments, and maybe you're not worried about money per se right now in the middle, of your life, but possibly, as I said, the future of where, you know, money, finances, things of value. Some of you could be dealing with situations of like work and career situations and whatnot. And I can see that for a lot of you, it's, causing you worry. What happens in this case is when a lot of you get in a stressful situation, you kind of revert back to that Capricorn energy where you're like, I don't have time for, anything emotional. And you start to just like nose to the grindstone, and you're worrying and stressing, but you kind of fall back into that kind of south node. What you're being asked to do, though, is you're being asked not to do that. The way out for you in this situation, wherever you're at, and as I said, this could just be general stresses that you're dealing with, but all of you in one way or another are dealing with some sort of have been like various stresses in your life. Everything from, as I said, money and finances, but also even like, relationship situations, but it's definitely all tied into that. That's what the Ace of Swords is saying. It's almost like the whatever the situation is for you, it could feel like you're not empowered, or it's taking away your power in some sense, right? The reason this is happening is this is pushing you toward the safety of those who really care about you caring for yourself, emotionally, but in particular, relying on people like close to you. So that's what your one of your advice cards is saying here. You've got the strength card. And what this is saying is that obviously when you see this card, the strength card, it has multi layers of meaning, right? But one of the things that is being shown here is it's no accident that you have this powerful lion, this powerful beast of the jungle, right? Being subdued by a maiden, right? This doesn't happen in real life. Like no person could actually like really do this, right? But what this is showing is that no matter how strong we are, we sometimes need to allow others to help us and nurture us. And we have to allow that because it might seem like, um, you can't get nurtured unless you are allowing yourself to be nurtured, is what I'm trying to say, right? And that's what this energy is that when you uh, allow people in your life, when you share your feelings and emotions with people around you, when you ask for help and assistance in dealing with the situation, and don't try to do the Capricorn thing is I'm going to be strong, I'm just going to grow a backbone and do it all by myself, right? There's nothing wrong with that per se, but in this lifetime it's not right for you. It's more developing this emotional side. The other thing I want to say about this is that when a person is, there's no more beautiful energy than when a person is really in a very difficult situation and they're very vulnerable, because essentially what this is allowing yourself to be vulnerable, right? There's no more beautiful energy than when a person comes in and they don't have the ability to fight back or resist in any way, and they need help and they allow it to happen. And it's this beautiful energy that we receive when we get help like that, when we allow ourselves to be vulnerable. It's like, think of the archetype of, the uh, tough soldier that's been through a battle, and then they're nurtured back to health by um, a caring and competent, like, medical provider or healer in some way, right? Or when you're really down and someone just reaches down to help you, to give you that lift up. Like, I think we've all experienced in our life, like really, really low times. And when someone shows that kindness, when we're at our like lowest state, it's really powerful, and I don't care how strong we think we are or how cut off or, rock hard our heart is, right? Nothing melts a heart quicker than that, and it's a beautiful thing. And that can only happen when someone is in need and needs that help. And that's what I'm seeing with this advice card, is that don't be afraid to allow yourself to be vulnerable in your life and in situations, because it's, even though it might seem to you a like a weakness, a point of weakness, it's really not. It's a point of strength, because we, it's like the old song, lean on me, when you're not strong, and then I'll lean on you when I'm not strong. That type of 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 an energy. You can still keep your strength while doing that. Now, the other advice card is the moon card, right? Okay, this is that there are things within your life right now, situations that are not quite clear to you yet. Okay, there are hidden things. And I've revealed some of them right now, that the reason that you could be going through the things you're going through is that you're getting to be prompted toward that state of vulnerability. And the only way we get to a state of vulnerability is when we're vulnerable. if we're invulnerable and we're invincible and I've got all the money in the world and all the power, I'm strong, like, okay, you can go through life like that. I mean, that's what, a lot of times what we want to do in life, right? We want to never lose and always win, right? But yeah, like, that's not what this life is about. There's times we all need help. We all need a helping hand up. So allow this to come into your life. And this can only happen if we become vulnerable. As I said, if we're invincible, the king and queen of the world, we never experience that. That's not in this lifetime for you. This is lifetime is for you to, kind of check into this vulnerability and allow that beautiful energy to experience that, right? Anyway, yeah, very powerful stuff. I hope this reading was helpful to you. You found some value in it. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions in your life and would like a personal tarot reading tailored to your astrological chart, there's going to be a link in the description box below. With that, I will say thank you. We'll see you on some more videos. Many blessings. Okay, North Node in Leo and or the 5th house. This is going to be your June 2024 mid-year check-in for your North Node soul path. Okay, interesting. So, yeah, the theme card that popped out for you for this kind of mid-year check-in is the Death card. And if you watch my channel for any length of time, you know that the so-called scary cards in the tarot deck, Death, the Devil, the Tower card, they're not really scary. They're just energies. In particular, the Death card is definitely not a bad card. It's actually a great card. Because what this is signifying transformation. For our old selves and ways of being to transform, the old ways need to die, right, in order for them to transform into something new. And what I'm seeing is that for most of you watching this video, there's major transformations that are going on in your life right now, in your relationships, in you personally, and you're transforming into this kind of new self. Although there are some challenges in doing it, I could see that this process, you're well on your way to doing this transformation. What are you transforming? You're transforming from your old way of being, that south node in, Aquarius and or the 11th house, into you're embodying this Leo 5th house energy. Now, one of the things that is happening is that with this moon card on your first timeline card, there are situations and things in your life that are not clear to you. And that could be it's not, a lot of you want to figure out what is exactly going on at every single stage and point in your life. And there's some things that are not quite clear to you that are going to come to light. And that could be causing a little bit of delay on this transformation. In particular, what's wanting to transform is two things. You've got on your timeline here, you've got the Knight of Cups reversed, and you've got the Eight of Pentacles reversed. So in sharing your gifts to the world, a lot of this has to do with career or a side business that you want to start, or some skill that you have that you're maybe not utilizing fully, right? But this is definitely with what you do. There's something that wants to transform into a new you. And with the reversed Knight of Cups here, this is you embodying that beautiful, like, Leo energy, that 5th house energy, which is the romantic dreamer, which is going out and, you know, taking chances and going for your dreams and working to fulfill those dreams and, utilizing your gifts, to the world, right? So there could be some difficulty in embodying this, because, as I said, there's some things that are hidden from you. In particular, what could be hidden from you is what it exactly is you want to do with your life, what it is, where it is you want to go. How is it that you want to um, present whatever your gifts are to the world? There could be some difficulty in kind of sharing that, okay? And it's like hidden from you. So one of your things that you're working on in this transformation process is figuring out who it is you truly are, okay? And where it is you want to go. So a lot of you could be kind of more stuck in that Aquarius energy or 11th house where you're like, well, I've got responsibilities with this company. I've got responsibilities with this family. I can't put any sort of energy into what I want to do. Okay. And that's the wrong thinking. What you want to do is really start thinking what it is that you can share with the world, because everybody that has this North Node has one or more gifts that can be shared into the world that can, yes, make them sometimes well known. It can bring prosperity. It's all positive, okay, when you start sharing this with the world. But right now it's hidden from you. And the way to connect to that is getting into this heart energy, like really tapping into who you are at a core level, a deep level. Feel free, like, what are your deepest, desires of what it is you want to do. Allow yourself to to dream that and think of that and, like, embody that. That's going to help uncover the mystery in this situation. But definitely, as I said, there's this transformation process going on. What are your advice cards in all of this? Okay, you've got the Strength card and you've got the Reverse Chariot. Okay, one of the things that's going on, normally the Strength card is always a positive card, right? And it is a positive in this case, but I have a different take on this for you. When I saw this, this is obviously the lion representing your North Node in Leo and or the fifth house, right? But the maiden here, this isn't about nurturing, but there could be people and relationships in your life that you're allowing to hinder your growth and transformation. And not that it's being done intentionally, but it's like, remember that your south node in Aquarius and or the 11th house is about the tribe, the family, the organization. I and there could be a fear of, I don't want to step outside of what the tribe thinks, the family thinks, the company thinks. It's this kind of tribal mentality because, years ago, when there were just like, villages and tribes, to wander out from the tribe was very dangerous, and so this is that ingrained energy. And so I feel like this Strength card is saying, like, okay, it's time for you to embody this lion energy and this energy of courage and go out into the world with your gifts in some way to be able to share them, okay? And then the other card with the Chariot reversed is a card of movement. Essentially what this is going on is this is a rebalancing of energies, right? And all you have to do is tweak these energies, rebalance them, and you're going to be moving forward. Um, and right now, it could seem like, for a lot of you, your life isn't moving forward or on the path that you want, or it could seem like things are just kind of going around in circles, you're spinning your wheels. That's what this Chariot reversed is saying. But really, when you begin to start to think about what it is you want to do and dream big and go for those dreams and bring that your gifts out into the world, and those gifts could be anything. I mean, everybody has like some unique gift to the world. That's your main goal, is figuring out what that is, what it is that you can put out there in some way. Okay. And don't be afraid to even, the first step is just think about it, just dream it. You don't have to tell anybody. You don't have to do anything at first. Just dream it and then start taking baby steps toward that. You start believing in that, right? But anyway, this is a transformation process that's going on, right? And you everyone is going to be at a different level, but I feel like everybody with between now and the end of the year is going to make some progress in this, some more than others. The key here is embodying that Leo energy, right? Having the courage to do that, to break away from any relationships that could be holding you back. And I don't necessarily mean breaking away, but freeing up yourself, your energy, so you can move forward, right? Without the fear of what is everyone going to think if I do this? And, it doesn't matter because it's what you are doing, what you want, right? Your authentic self. Anyway, I hope this reading was helpful to you and you found some value in it. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any personal questions and would like a tarot reading that's based on your astrological chart, there's going to be a link in the description box below. With that, I will say thank you. We'll see you on some more videos. Many blessings. Okay, North Node in Virgo and or the 6th house. This is going to be your June 2024 mid-year check-in for your North Node path. Okay, really interesting. So, the theme card that popped out for this mid-year check-in here in June is the Six of Wands. And what I'm feeling like for you North Nodes in Virgo is you could be at a time in your life, a lot of you, where you're at this transition point where I see and feel like breakthroughs on different levels. And I'm feeling like breakthroughs that are coming for you, like in on a different spectrum for each of you. So for example, one aspect of your life you could see like improvement, let's say, and some other aspects you're still working on. For others it could be like multiple aspects where there's breakthroughs happening. And then for others, like massive breakthroughs where the dam has broken and all the water's coming out. So there's breakthroughs at different levels for all of you. And the reason this is happening is with the Hierophant here, your first card on your timeline. A lot of you are figuring out that when you are getting into a more traditional way of being, meaning that you're, taking care of yourself on a regular basis. You're taking care of your needs. You're taking care of, you know, regular programs of, um, you know, diet, exercise, or meditation, or just helping yourself in some way. But, you know, that this more structured life is what I'm seeing. A more traditional structured life is always going to help you, because remember, you're coming from your gifts of Pisces in the 12th house, which you have this natural ability of seeing multiple things in the universe and understanding these like deep things, right? But this is a lifetime for you to bring your spiritual knowledge down to earth. So it's about being practical. If I had to like put it in a nutshell, it's bringing the big, huge spiritual knowledge and energy into a practical everyday life. And I think a lot of you are kind of realizing that you're doing that on different levels. And what does that look like? It could be like a thing where just you start on doing something on a regular basis, like you have an exercise program, or you're just, I'm going to take vitamins on. So you're anything that's regular routines are very, very helpful to you. And I think that a lot of you are kind of seeing that. The more you can do that, the more you can embody this energy of kind of like winning and transforming. Now, the other cards on your timeline are the reverse Page of Pentacles and the reversed Ten of Cups here. One of the things that is going on and you're going to have to get a handle on, we'll start with the Ten of Cups, is A lot of you that have this placement have come from very difficult family situations, okay? You see this a lot. It's very common with North Node in Virgo or the 6th house, okay? And you could even be experiencing like current, family issues, right? So there's these issues in the past. And the best way to kind of deal with them is to try to understand them. And that's where this reversed page of pentacles comes from, because while pentacles, yes, it rules like, money, finances and whatnot. One of the things about this is that this is your North Node embodied, because pentacles are an earth sign and Virgo is an earth sign, right? But if you see the page here, the page is looking at this pentacle and examining it, with love and affection and trying to understand it, right? This is one of the gifts that you can embody with this North Node in Virgo or the 6th house, which is, Virgo is about the ability to focus in and understand something. So you're bringing your focus in on this situation, and I feel like with situations that have happened in your past or could be going on now, dealing with them in a focused way, in a measured way, in a very methodical way, that is some of the energy that you're working with now, this like from the beginning of the year till now. And I think this is going to be a big theme going forward in the rest of 2024. So looking at your life currently in situations and focusing in on it. Focus is the big word here, okay? Focusing in on your life to understand your past and understanding your present. Now, the two advice cards that are coming up for you are, you've got the 9 of Pentacles reversed and you've got the 8 of Wands. What this is saying is that you want to make sure that you're, with the 8 of Wands, we'll start with this, okay? You want to make sure that you are moving forward on this, that moving forward in trying to understand and focus in and make sense of your past in some way, even if that just means like coming to the sense of, okay, this happened to me and it's up to me. I just have to get over it in some way. Or you could seek help by, in some way, therapy, counseling, or just, going through a program, a self-help program or reading a book or whatever. But what this is saying is that not to just like lock it away and forget it and like pretend it's not there, but like really deal with it. And when you do that, that's a very practical thing to do. It's a thing to focus in on, right? Now, the 9 of Pentacles here is, this is something that you're going to transform into. Everybody that has this North Node, one of the things that they could transform into is they could transform into the Empress, the Queen or King of Pentacles. In this case, the 9 of Pentacles is saying that the life that you can create, believe it or not, is a life of peace and prosperity, a life of being okay with everything that's happened to you, but moving forward from it, a life of enjoyment. Okay, all of that is something that you can do by taking the steps that I said, looking at what has transpired in your life and looking at it to focus on it, to heal it in whatever way you need to do it in order to heal it. But to heal it and get it out of the shadows, you know what I mean? And this is a very, as I said, practical thing to do. Anything to do with focus, practical things, routines is going to really, really help you, okay? But this is what you can embody, and this is the struggle, right? This is going to be, the reason it's reversed is it's not going to happen overnight. But the reason this is coming up is it's to give you a goal, this is who you can transform into. Someone that is able to enjoy life regardless of what has happened and transpired, right? And so, yeah, by taking those steps of focus, perseverance, and practicality, it's going to get you to where you want to be and where you need to be. Anyway, I hope this reading was helpful to you. You found some value in it. If you have any personal questions and would like a tarot reading that's tailored to you and your astrological chart, there's going to be a link in the description box below. I'll give you some more information on that. With that, I'll say thank you. We'll see you on some more videos. Many blessings. Okay, North Node in Libra and or the 7th house. This is going to be your June 2024 mid-year soul path check-in. Okay, really interesting. So yeah, for your mid 2024 mid-year check-in, the theme card that popped out for you is the Sun card. And when I saw this card, I got like a download where it became really clear to me that this is relating to the upswing that a lot of you have the ability to tap into at this point. And what that is actually the planet Venus came in. Even though, this card is the sun, it represents everything that Venus also encompasses, which is your North Node in Libra, right? Which is beauty, which is enjoyment of life, even like recreation, taking time to enjoy your life. And I feel like that's a big task for you this year. You're going from the energy of your South Node in, Aries, or the first house, Mars, the planet Mars, into this Venus energy. And so there's this chance for you to continue to grow. And the way you're going to grow in your path is to really, it's almost like a childlike exuberance where you're in a childlike sense of wonderment, where you're really connecting to that Venus energy of, as I said, enjoying life, tapping into recreation, hobbies, relationships, everything that, not being so serious with like the energy of Mars. Now, your timeline cards you've got the Hierophant reversed, you've got the Three of Wands reversed, and you've got the King of Wands reversed. Okay, so this is really clear to me. This is what's going on, the evolutionary path that you're you're given the chance to go on this. Starting with the Hierophant, okay, this is about tradition. This is about sticking to old ways of doing things, which is great sometimes, but in this context, this is about changing from old ways of being into new ways of being, which I said is connecting to that Venus energy, connecting to heart, making love important, making relationships important, making taking care of yourself and enjoying life important. And this is from the seriousness of Mars, you're evolving, right? The other thing that's happening with this Three of Wands is a lot of you could be, the way you could be trapped in a Mars energy is always worried about like the future. Like, I've got to like make sure that, and I'm not saying we shouldn't ever think about the future, but what I'm saying here is that it can become an obsession. Like, I'm constantly pushing forward. I'm pushing forward. What's going to be tomorrow? What's going to be the next day? What's going to be a year from now, as opposed to like right now? And so you're being asked to, the way to evolve through this is to start looking at what's going on right now. Like, be in the present moment. Don't worry about tomorrow, okay? But if you stay in the present moment, that's a very Venus thing to do, right? And then the last part of this, which is very clear, is the reversed King of Wands, okay? This is representing, your South Node in Aries or the first house, right? This is saying like you're evolving from, you're keeping the best parts of your South Node, which is the ability to act and react to things, the ability to take action, the ability to be strong within yourself and be a warrior for others. But you're learning to balance that with now going into evolving into this like Venus energy of everything like we had talked about. Now, your advice cards are that are going to help you in this two things. You've got the Nine of Cups reversed, and you've got the Six of Swords reversed. Okay, this is very clear. Starting with the Nine of Cups. This is traditionally called the wish card. This is emotional wishes and desires fulfilled, but it's reversed. And so what you really want to start doing is doing that dreaming of like what it is your true heart and that's connected and aligned with your heart, not your mind, but aligned with your heart. What it is you want from life. What is it you want from your life, from your relationships, from where where you want to go, without looking too much into the future, but just what is it that you want in general. Start kind of dreaming that more, because a lot of you are so focused on maybe thinking too far ahead or being dragged into situations that are draining your energy, that you're not able to kind of get into that. Again, this is a very like childlike thing to do, which is a positive, which is dream, which is hopes, wishes, and desires, right? The other part to that is you've got the Six of Swords, and this is saying that a lot of you right now that are watching this still could be experiencing in your life, in various aspects of your life, maybe more than one. There's some turbulence, right? And what it's going to take for you is that we're all, going to go through life and there's going to be turbulence. But what we can do is we can deal with it and then move away from it. And what I feel like a lot is happening with some of you is that you are staying too long in the energy of trying to fix things, and what you're being asked to do is move away from that. Where are you moving? You're moving toward that more Venusian energy, that Venus energy and the Sun energy, which combined is about hopes, wishes, dreams. Okay, start doing that. And I feel like a lot of you are starting to realize that. A lot of you, I feel like, are, especially with this card, the Six of Swords, is you're like mentally and emotionally exhausted of trying to always, like life is a battle type of a thing. And I think that when you realize that it's more of, instead of a battle, we can make it more into a game or a puzzle type of a thing, if you bring that kind of energy in there. Now, it's not easy to do, but I feel like this is where a lot of you are starting to realize. When you hear this, you're like, yeah, I kind of feel that way. I'm needing to move toward um, seeking peace, seeking the beauty that's around me. And because we can always, in every day, we can focus in on various aspects, of our life. And we still have to deal in the real world with things, but there can be a balance between dealing with things in the real world, but also, living a more, I would say like magical life, because it's up to us to do it. It's almost like the energy of, I'm going to wait until life presents itself in a beautiful, magical way, as opposed to us kind of seeking it. And that's a good use of your Mars energy, right? Of going towards beauty, going towards peace. That is the goal of becoming the, spiritual warrior. You're still moving toward something, but you're not moving toward battle. You're moving toward, beauty and peace. Anyway, I hope this reading was helpful to you. You found some value in it. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions in your life and would like a personal tarot reading tailored to your astrological chart, there's going to be a link in the description box below. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Many blessings. We'll see you again. Okay, North Node in Scorpio and or the 8th house. This is going to be your June 2024 mid-year soul path check-in. Okay, really interesting. So the theme card that popped out for your mid-year check-in is the star card reversed. And what I'm seeing here with this, whenever I see the star card, even when it's reversed, it's one of those cards that is positive, but it's like a delayed positive energy. There's also karma involved here. And a lot of times when I see cards and I'm in the energy of doing readings, I'll get like a mini movie played in my head where I'll see the various layers for this particular reading, what this card means. And what I see that a lot of you are, there is positivity that's trying to work its way into your life, and it's there. The universe wants to bring it in, but I feel that there's a blocking energy for a lot of you that is blocking it from fully being there. And I don't feel like it's a full block. I feel like some of this, if you imagine like the energy of like, a beam of light, starlight, sunlight or whatever coming in, and you might put up some barriers, but then so there's pieces of this light that's coming in, but it's being obstructed. Like if you put a sheet or something up that might have a few holes over a window when there's sunlight coming in, right? And I think it's a really easy fix. What's wanting to come in is, let's look at your timeline cards. You've got the Knight of Pentacles reversed. You've got the Queen of Swords reversed, and you've got the Fool card reversed. So what I'm seeing here is, starting with the Knight of Pentacles reversed, this is a card that's representing your South Node in Taurus and or the second house, excuse me. And what I'm seeing is that there is this is an energy of like being stuck, or like a stubbornness. Sometimes we don't even know that we're stuck, and that's one of the things that's blocking this energy from coming in. Is like being kind of maybe like stuck in old patterns and ways of being. Now, this is hard to do when we're dealing with our South Node. I mean, for all of us, we all have our different things that we're dealing with, but it's hard because it's ingrained energy that is it's our natural way of being. Okay, so we're on this path of evolution. So I'm not saying it's easy, right? But there's this stuck energy. The other thing is that with the reversed Queen of Swords is a lot of this is mental energy that's coming in, like ways of thinking, ways of being, that it's like if we can change our thinking, and if we can go to what would the thinking change to? Well, from not needing to, essentially what this is not needing to be fully 100% always in control of our life. It's like being, there's times when it's a benefit for us to kind of like let go. It's a very freeing thing. And that's kind of the energy. And it's like a mental energy that can be like locked or frozen. Now, the last card, the Fool reversed, is the Fool. If you have seen my videos, okay, we talk about the Fool. The Fool is a misrepresented card a lot of times, okay? It's not a bad card. It's not about a dum-dum or someone who's being a fool, right? It's about this beautiful, I would say, young person or childlike energy of exuberance, of positivity, of seeing, of optimism, basically is what it is. Seeing the glass half full as opposed to half empty. And this is the type of energy that is what gets people to say, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to write this novel, and then I'm going to present it to the world, or I'm going to become a movie maker, or I'm going to start a business. Okay. And everyone's all, I'm going to start this business on $500 and whatever. This is the type of energy. It's that exuberance, and it's this optimism is what wants to come in. And it's like, but what's the opposite energy of that is, let's say someone has an inclination of like, yeah, I want to do this. I really want to go and just go for it, right? And then the mind comes in, or other people, say, well, how are you going to do that? Like, what? You don't have this or that, or how is it going to work, and this and that. And then doubts come in, right? So it's kind of like that type of energy. But people that have been successful, that have like embarked on this type of energy, they just put that all aside. They're just like, I'm going to go for it. Now, that doesn't mean every time we go for things, we're going to win. But I can guarantee you, every time we don't go for things, we won't win. Okay. That's the guarantee. So obviously you have to make intelligent, decisions on things, but sometimes we can be overly intelligent where we talk ourselves out of things, in moving forward. Now your advice cards are kind of explaining this. So you've got two cards. You've got the Seven of Wands reversed, and you've got the Nine of Wands reversed, right? Start with the Seven of Wands. This is about, in order to have that childlike exuberance and to go for things and to let things happen in our life, one of the things that we have to do is we have to relinquish control. And that's difficult for a lot of the signs, especially, Taurus, South Node, or, South Node in the second house, because we want all of our ducks in a row. We want to have, we don't like too much change or whatever. We want guarantees. Okay. And so this is saying, like, you're not going to, in order to go for that, you got to go out on the limb. You got to, like, be able to do things, do the best you can to make a decision to move forward. But when you move forward in something, a lot of times you're not going to feel like all your ducks are in a row and everything is completely ready for you. It's like a leap of faith type of a thing. And then the other thing with the reversed Nine of Wands, what this is saying is that the reason that, all of this positive energy could be somewhat blocked from your life is not learning from old patterns. Okay. That's what this is. Learning from things that you've gone through, like think through things of like how you've gone through, you've this has happened, that's happened, the battles you've won, the battles you've lost, and think about it and analyze it. And what we do, hopefully, is we learn from those, and we say, like, well, I've done this a few times and it didn't really work out, even though it came from my gut instincts, right? But the gut instincts are coming from these set patterns in the South Node and our Pluto placement, right? These are our natural instincts. So I've gone for these. Maybe I can do something else, right? So essentially, what this reading is about is that there is very, very positive energy I'm seeing for the North Nodes in Scorpio. Remember to go for things, to not always go for the safety and security, right? Because that could be blocking you from your kind of best life, your optimal timeline, right? So, yeah, this is there's a lot here, but just remember, you're going toward Scorpio, and you're going toward the eighth house. You're going toward things that are, can be like deep and uncomfortable, and they could be things, but also exciting, right? Um, yeah, anyway, but very, very powerful energy here for this mid-year. And I feel like a lot of you, the more you can kind of open that curtain up and let that light in, it'll happen more frequently, and you'll be like, oh yeah, I don't need this curtain anymore, and you'll just kind of pull it down. Anyway, I hope this reading was helpful to you and you found some value in it. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions in your life and would like a personal tarot reading tailored to your astrological chart, there's going to be a link in the description box below. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Reach out to me in the comments. Say, hey, what's up? I'd appreciate it. And we will see you on some more videos. Many blessings. Okay, North Node in Sagittarius and or the ninth house. This is going to be your June 2024 mid-year soul path check-in. Okay, really interesting. So the theme card that popped out for you for this mid-year check-in is the Three of Pentacles. And when I saw this card, I was thinking that a lot of you North Nodes in Sagittarius are experiencing things relating to people observing the things that you're doing in your life. Like there's rewards and observations from not only like this could be your work, in your family, in your friends, in the organizations you belong to, or just like life in general. You're being like looked at, and a lot of it is very positive. Like I feel like there's this, you're being rewarded for working toward this singular path of you being your authentic self, of putting aside the confusion of your Gemini, uh, you know, South Node or the third house South Node, and you're moving toward this like singular path of doing something. What is it you're doing? Like a lot of you, it's like you're putting your energy into your family and your relationships and trying to better those relationships. And that's what I'm seeing with this Four of Wands here on your timeline. Some of you with this Ten of Wands reversed are realizing where you're shedding old burdens. People are recognizing like you're evolving, and as you're evolving, you're shedding the burdens that are you're currently feeling and able to like free up your life more because the path of the Sagittarius or ninth house North Node is a path of freedom. I mean, Sagittarius means freedom. It's like freeing yourself up from, it's moving forward. It's the planet Jupiter. It's like, expansion from one way of being to another. So a lot of you are being recognized by the universe and other people for that. And then also the Three of Wands reversed. What's helping you through this is that even though, we're talking about freedom with Sagittarius and the ninth house, a lot of you aren't looking too far ahead because in order to do proper work in anything, whether we're focusing on a job, something we're doing, a career, whether we're focusing on um, our relationships, our families, our personal, physical, or mental health, whatever it doesn't pay off to think too far ahead. And it's more like we have to, in order to be good at something, whatever it is you're doing, you have to focus in on it. And that's what a lot of you are doing. You're realizing where you're moving forward on your path, and there's the path of freedom forward. But in that path to freedom, you're realizing that focusing in on the present moment is really helping you to like not get stuck in old patterns, which would be in Gemini or the third house, where you're thinking too far ahead. Like it's always like you're in your head, you're 2 or 3 years ahead in your head, type of a thing. But yeah, like there's this energy right now of being looked at, and some of you. I would say that it's going to go kind of both ways. I feel like most of it's positive. I feel like this represents looking at yourself and your life. So you're actually like that, you know, person outside yourself, observing yourself, that's giving you positive feedback. I think it could be coming from other areas of your life. I don't think anyone watching this or hearing this is not getting some sort of positive feedback from some area of your life, of things that you have done well. Now, that doesn't mean that you're going to get it 100% from everybody in every situation in your life. That's not what I'm saying. But I feel like in general, you're being rewarded for this, for the energy that you're putting in to your life and the work that you're doing. And a lot of that has to do with not getting into the mind traps, but really kind of focusing in on your singular path, like what your true heart wants to do and accomplish in this life. Now, your advice cards are, you've got the Empress and you've got the Two of Swords reversed. So starting with the Empress, okay, this is obvious. Even though this card is representing, the planet Venus, this is about what I'm talking about, where you're realizing that the more you let go of the mind traps of Gemini in the third house, of second guessing yourself, of the confusion of too many options, and you're honing it down to focusing in on something, whatever that is in your life, the focus of area of your life. You're realizing that what it does is it enriches your life. Here's an example. Let's say you are really, really hungry, and you sit down, you're super hungry, and you're sitting down to this absolutely delicious meal prepared for you. But there are all sorts of distractions. You're trying to maybe sign documents, you're eating, you're enjoying the food somewhat, right? But you're doing other things. People are talking to you, and, like there's a lot of distractions. Now compare that with going into this meal super hungry and completely being absorbed in this experience of taking some deep breaths, of looking at the delicious food prepared in front of you, enjoying the smells, and really savoring the taste with no distractions. That's what the Empress, that's what we're talking about. That's the Venus energy. That's what's helping you, because that is a directional tool that helps you to find your direction. Because as opposed to unfocused Gemini and third house energy, this is focused. You're focusing in on what it is you're doing, and that is enhancing your life, right? It's that focus. Now, and it definitely enriches your life. That's the whole point of this, that this enriches your life, and it gives you that directional point of, oh, I need to do more of this, The other part is this Two of Swords reversed. This is very obvious that Gemini third house energy south node, where you're keeping the best of that, which is your emotional and mental flexibility. But what you're doing is you're not getting caught in the mental traps that you used to get caught into. And when you do find yourself in those, you're able to release yourself, like, oh, okay, I'm just going back into that old energy. You're kind of catching it, and then you're coming back and focusing in on what your true path is, type of a thing. And that's what this is saying, is you're unblocking this energy, connecting more to your intuition. And the funny thing is that I've said this before, you wouldn't think so, but the Sagittarius Gemini polarity or axis is very intuitive, very, very, very intuitive. And so that's what this is representing, where you're opening up this intuition, opening up that heart energy, and freeing up the energy that used to be trapped in like mind traps, right? But yeah, very, very powerful time. Remember, just keep focusing in on what it is that brings you the most amount of joy, and what it is. And you're getting these messages from the universe, from yourself, from people around you, and just go into that. And remember, the more you can focus in on a singular path that is bringing you joy, that's bringing you happiness, the more you're going to kind of like move forward into more and more positivity in your life. Anyway, I hope this reading was helpful to you and you found some value in it. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any personal questions and would like a tarot reading tailored personally to your astrological chart, there's going to be a link in the description box below. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Reach out to me in the comments. Would love to interact with y'all. But with that, I will say thank you. We'll see you on some more videos. Many blessings. Okay, North Node in Capricorn and or the 10th house. This is going to be your June 2024 TAROTSCOPE reading for your mid-year soul path check-in. Okay, very interesting. So the theme card that popped out for this mid-year check-in for 2024 is the King of Pentacles. And like a lot of North Nodes this month for the mid-year check-in, I'm seeing a lot of paths to evolution. This is all about where it is you're heading. Now, this card represents your evolution into Capricorn and or the 10th house, right? Because Pentacles rules all the earth signs, Capricorn being one of them, right? And so this is about your evolution and ways that you can make the evolution go more quickly and more smoothly, and areas that maybe need like some more work, right? Let's look at your timeline cards, because very interestingly, you also have the Queen of Pentacles, okay? So you have both the King and the Queen of Pentacles. And I feel like a lot of you are starting to see movement forward, even if it's not great. I think if each of you think about certain aspects of your life, you're seeing that there has been, for most of you, progress made. And that's what this Eight of Wands is saying, is that continue to just move forward. No matter where you're at, don't get discouraged or whatever, just keep moving forward. What are you moving forward to? You're moving forward to this evolution of this Capricorn 10th house, which is all about having the courage to go out into the world, to do things, to leave the safety of the nest, of the family, of whatever safety, you know, cubby that you're in, and moving out of that, okay? And this evolution, let it happen. One of the things that I'm going to see that is going to help you, for a lot of you, is that I'm seeing the Ace of Pentacles reversed up here, okay? And this is interesting because for some of you, you want to move forward, but there could be a catch of, well, I don't have the resources or money to do it, what I want to do. I don't feel safe in moving forward with whatever, blah, 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 because I don't have the resources. And the other thing that's with this reversed Ace of Pentacles is saying that, you know, for a lot of you that have this North Node, money isn't really super important to you, money and success. And that's okay, because I mean that's okay on one level. There's nothing wrong with that, because actually the most important things in our life are, you know, our health, our loved ones, home, family. That's always, you know, more important. But you already have that mastered, right? You already have the emotional intelligence and all of that mastered. It's time to, you know, it's not, there's nothing wrong within your life letting money and success and things motivate you. And that's okay. Like, even though it doesn't come naturally to you. But what I'm saying is that whether or not you're, you know, thinking I don't have the resources to move forward and what I want to do, or if that's not even a factor, like I don't really care about money and success. Well, it's time to care about that, because when you do that, here's the thing about this North Node. When you begin to go toward that Capricorn of like, I'm going to go out into the world, I'm going to like worry about, not worry, but you're going to put some effort into doing something outside of the safety net of the family or organization or whatever. When you go outside that and you have that courage, what ends up happening is you actually create more security and stability in that Cancer South node. You get more stability for you and your loved ones, right? And that's the kind of the catch, but it's a matter of kind of going out there and, like, you know, going for it. Let money and success, let it be a motivating factor, because the more successful you are, the more you can help those you love. The more successful you are, the more security you're going to experience, right? So your advice cards are, you've got the Page of Wands reversed and you've got the Death card, right? Now, if you've watched my channel for any number of months, you know that the Death card is not scary, okay? All the so-called, you know, scary cards, they're just energies. And what the Death card is that this is about transformation. And in order for one way of being to go away, it has to die, right? In order for something new to come in, we have to change something. With the old way of doing, being, thinking, feeling has to go away or die in order for evolution to happen. And I think that that's the process, what you're in right now. And for a lot of you, you could be listening to this and you could be in a state of not feeling super comfortable. I think that it's going to be different for all of you. Some of you are like, okay, yeah, I get what you're saying. I'm in this right now. But a lot of you are like, I don't feel it. I don't, and it's because you're in the middle of this transformation phase, and the transformation phase doesn't always feel comfortable. Transformation isn't always comfortable until you kind of get to the point of the other side of that. Okay. So just know that this is a process. Okay. And you're in this phase. Just keep moving forward. You don't have to take 100 steps forward, every day. Can you just take a step forward an inch? That's a win. That's all I'm saying. Obviously it's easier the faster, the quicker you go, the faster you move forward. I get it. Okay. But if you can just take movement forward little at a time, you're going to start seeing success. And then with the page of wands reversed, what this is saying is that the other thing is there could be what a lot of you are experiencing, like a lack of energy, and that's where that motivation comes in that I was talking about. There, in order to move forward and transform, there has to be some sort of energy that gets the ball rolling, or that gets everything moving from a state of being at a standstill to moving forward. Okay, there has to be some sort of thing that can start creating momentum. And I feel like a lot of you are like, you're hearing this and you might not feel like that energy. In order for to use this analogy, like any sort of change that people ever do in their life, or things that they want to create, they get to the point where they do it because, let's say, for example, someone finally says, I'm going to get healthy or whatever it is. And they get to a point, something has to happen, and something comes to a head, and then they're like, no more. And then that's the energy that pushes them forward. You just have to find what it is that's going to push you forward. Sometimes people just get to the point where I don't want to do this anymore, and they want to change, and that's what happens with our south nodes. A lot of times, we'll get prompted and prodded by the universe, and we'll get to the point where we're like, I'm just going to do this because I can't, I'm so uncomfortable. And that, again, we're talking about comfort with the south node in Cancer, or the, fourth house, where you get to this period of uncomfortability in your life of something, and then that's the energy that drives you forward. So I get it. A lot of times you're listening to this and you're just like, okay, I don't know if I have the energy to move forward, but just, keep at it. Search for that thing that is going to, and look for that thing that's going to be the energy for you to finally kind of go into this new phase, and to evolve, right? And that's kind of where you're at. This is really a heads up where you're doing good. Okay, some of you are further ahead than others. That's okay, but ultimately you're in the transformation phase. Okay, and it could be uncomfortable at times. Just know that. But the main thing is, the whole thing about this reading is, take the points that we talked about, but just remember to just keep moving forward, and you'll be okay. It's not easy, but you got this. You can do this. Anyway, I hope this reading was helpful to you and you found some value in it. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any personal questions and would like a tarot reading personally tailored to your astrological chart, there's going to be a link in the description box below. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out in the comments and say, hey, love to interact with y'all. But with that, I'll say, keep on that path, and you got this. Be strong. We'll see you on some more videos. Many blessings. Okay, North Node in Aquarius and or the 11th house. This is going to be your June 2024 mid-year check-in for your soul path. Okay, really interesting. So the theme card that popped out for your mid-year North Node Soul Path check-in is the Eight of Swords. And when I saw this card, it immediately was telling me like multi-layers of things, but in particular, the evolutionary path that you're on right now, that a lot of you are experiencing and you're doing very well, is that even at different levels for each of you, you're learning that you can control your thinking and your perceptions. It's and I think that you're realizing that more and more for each of you in different ways, to different levels and different extents, right? But you're realizing that a lot of your thinking and patterns are under your control, and you're realizing that you have the ability to release and evolve your thinking, which is a huge benefit in your personal evolution. Now, how is this playing out? Well, your timeline cards are, you've got the Six of Cups reversed, you've got the Five of Cups, and you've got the Two of Swords. So for me, this is clearly showing this evolutionary path of where you're going from your Leo or fifth house south node to your Aquarius 11th house south node. Starting with, one of the things is you've got the Six of Cups reversed, right? This is relating to your emotional past, things that have happened, particularly with your family. It could be siblings, it could be friends, but a lot of it's like family. It's your emotional past when you were younger. A lot of you are making sense of it, and you're releasing yourself from the mental traps and emotional traps that once held you hostage, right? You're doing it to yourself. You're having these realizations, and you're looking back, and you're in the process, even if you haven't fully released them yet. All of you are in the process of doing this. You've been reviewing the past, 6 months. This is a big part of your year of making sense mentally and emotionally of your past, right? Now, this has to do with family, friends a lot. Okay, now the second part here is the Five of Cups. This has to do, could be with like personal relationships that you've had, work situations or whatever. Again, you're realizing that your perspective on it can change and evolve. And with both of these cards, there's a feeling and air of positivity, because here, even though it's Five of Cups, there's three cups spilled, there's two that are full, and there's a path that can be taken forward away from these old patterns. So this is a card of moving away from um, old emotional wounds. Not that that doesn't sting anymore, but again, making more sense of it so you can move forward. And then the last part of this personal evolution is, this sums up, Aquarius, okay, or the 11th house, Two of Swords. You're realizing that, you have this tremendous strength of heart, okay? Leo ruled by the sun, the fifth house ruled by the sun is about, you know, wearing your heart on your sleeve. It's a very powerful energy of heart-centered, energy. But what you're learning is that there's a time to temper that. And what are you tempering it with? With that Aquarius North Node, which is like coolness, detachment, reason. You don't always have to go in full bore with passion and emotion. There's nothing wrong with that. But with that Leo South node, okay, sometimes it can not be your friend, even if it's a natural inclination, and the weird thing about our South nodes is it just comes naturally to us. You try to, tell a person that has a certain South node to not be that way, and it's like they don't, it just comes natural, right? So what you're evolving toward is, there's a time to where you don't always have to go in full emotional bore. There's a time for detachment. There's a time for, you think of like the ultimate Aquarius is, I'm going to honor my gifts. I'm a unique an individual, but I'm going to hold back. I can detach slightly from certain situations emotionally. I can use reason more. So think of cool, calm, collected, detached energy. And it's like, think of like if you have, this, I'll use the whole energy of like let's say water flow, right? Like in a dam, right? in a dam, all that water, you can let the water out of the dam, right? And it's just like coming out. That would be like this emotional, like Leo South Node. And that can feel very great. It's like, yes, just let it go, right? And the Aquarius side of it, or the 11th house, is no, we can put a dam up here. I can let a little bit of water out, and then we can just we can control it. And when you can control it in this lifetime, you're actually creating more energy in your life. You're creating intelligent energy in your life. And that's what this is. There's a time to kind of hold that back. This is the evolution of what you're learning to do. And part of that is making sense of your past, freeing up the maybe misguided mental beliefs that you had about your life and about your past and what's going on now, and detaching from it and going more toward that Aquarius energy. So your advice cards are, you've got the Ace of Wands and you've got the Three of Cups. And what this is saying is, during this, one of the things that you're being cautioned to do is, in this process of evolution, and I've seen this a lot, sometimes you start to make progress forward, but you actually can there is a possibility to go too far into your north node, where you can go, the pendulum can go from, instead of coming to the middle, can swing over to the other side, which would mean, where you forget about the natural gifts, because everyone that has a south node, by sign and house, has gifts there, right? And the gifts that you have, you don't want to lose, of your love of life, your passion of life. You are able to connect emotionally with others. That is all a beautiful thing. And you want to make sure that you're maintaining that balance during this process, during this evolutionary process. And again, the same thing with this Ace of Wands, which is about creativity, your natural inner fire, about passion for life. Okay. You want to make sure that as you're going through this process, that you stay with your gifts. And so it's this balancing act, right? That's what this whole thing is. It's just a balancing act, keeping the best parts of your south node and your natural inclinations, but incorporating these new energies, balancing it out with your north node, right? Anyway, I hope this reading was helpful to you and you found some value in it. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions in your life and would like a personal tarot reading tailored to your astrological chart, please feel free to check out the link in the description box below. Reach out to me in the comments. If you have any questions, would love to help you with that. And with that, I will say thank you. We'll see you on some more videos. Many blessings. Okay, North Node in Pisces and or the 12th house. This is going to be your June 2024 North Node Soul Path yearly check-in. Okay, so the theme card that popped out for you is the reversed Knight of Wands. And like so many of the North Nodes that I'm seeing, for this mid-year check-in, this is about, you're on this path right now, and a lot of you are in this transformation process. It's continuing on. One of the things that you could be feeling in this like check-in is, you could be feeling like there's a lack of movement forward, or like a lack of inspiration, or something, like an energy, like an energy that's not moving forward, because all the knights are cards of movement, and wands has to do with, passion, creativity, and energy forward. And the reason you feel like that is because there is movement forward, but there's a number of factors that, you know, you're dealing with right now. Remember, your North Node in Pisces is dealing with, very, very deep spiritual matters, right? And so a lot of you are connected to not only, your personal energy, which would be more toward your South Node, which is very focused, but remember, when you broaden that focus, a lot of you are susceptible to the energy going in your family, in your community, in the world in general, right, or in the universe, right? So there's a lot of your path is tied to the the energies that are going on around you. So it could seem like there isn't a lot of movement forward, and really what I'm seeing is that there is a lot of healing and transformation taking place, not only for you personally, but when you're connected to the greater world, like the collective conscious, the collective unconscious. And some of the things that are happening is we'll get into your timeline cards. So I feel like this reading is almost like it's like connected to you and your North Node, but also to the greater collective. I'm getting this feeling of that there's a connection. There's not a complete separation, which will make more sense as the reading progresses, right? So your timeline cards are, you've got the Five of Cups, you've got the Four of Cups reversed, and you've got the Nine of Wands. Now, as I said, for the collective, this is happening on the collective. A lot of people are in healing in things that the last several years that they've lost emotionally. There could be, lost friendships, lost family connections, lost, you know, um, ways of being, businesses or things like that. Like people are healing. We're healing from this. We're not just, everything that's taken place like the last 3 or 4 years. We're all like trying to process, right? And so this is happening and this is affecting. What I'm trying to say is that this is affecting your path, but it is a ultimate positive, and I'll get into it. But you're kind of feeling like this. You're healing from these past wounds. There is a way forward, right? The Four of Cups reversed is, again, there could be this feeling of like not only uncertainty, but kind of complacency that's in generally in the world. It's like a some people are feeling in the collective like disheartened, because of what's going on in the world today, and so this is all kind of seeping in. It's like, mirroring your life. You're kind of you're going through it with everybody, right? But that's because I feel like, the North Node in Pisces and or the 12th house is one of the most intense North Nodes, because it's connected to, in a very personal way, it's connected to the greater universe, right? So, you're kind of going along with this, and what has to be able to be processed by everybody, including yourself, is making sense of what's transpired. You have the Nine of Wands here. All of these things have happened. All of these energetic battles that have happened with ourselves personally and also in the world, and we're sitting here like we're trying to make sense of them, and that's a good thing, okay? But you're in the process of this. Now, what this means, as is the way it could feel to you personally, is that there's not a lot of movement forward, but that this is part of the process. It's actually quite a bit moving forward, because by you allowing yourself to go on this journey of transforming along with the collective, okay, and the collective unconscious, collective conscious, you're allowing yourself to evolve. Evolve. You're evolving along with the universe, because whatever happens, there is going to be evolution forward, right? Evolution forward on our path. And so that's the process of what's going on, is that people are trying to make sense of their life, of what happened, of everything that's transpired. We're in the middle of that right now. On the other end of that, we can start seeing movement forward more so, right? But there is movement. It just doesn't feel like it, or it doesn't feel good, right? So the advice cards are the Ten of Swords reversed and the Eight of Swords. What this is saying is this is definitely saying that the way forward for you is to know, okay, we're talking about mental facilities, not to feel, but first to know. The feelings will come after. To know that this is a process of freeing yourself, Eight of Swords, freeing yourself, and the collective is freeing themselves from things mentally that were keeping them prisoner. Okay. This is the process of all of this I was talking about. It's a process of freeing yourself, and you're in the middle of this process along with the collective, right? So they're coming to know that it's up to them to, and you're seeing this more and more. People are, they call it like waking up, right? People are waking up to like what's really going on in the world and their place in it, type of a thing. So that's what this process is. And then with the Ten of Swords reversed, this is about, you know, when we get to the point of understanding all of everything that's transpired, and this is very Pisces 12th house, we've gone to the end of whatever, right? We've gone to the end of the zodiac, Pisces, or the 12th house. We've gone to the end, and now once we go to the end, what happens with the infinity sign or with an Ouroboros or whatever it is, right? You come to the end and you begin again. Okay, just like everything in the universe is a cycle. And so what you're doing is when you get to the end of this process, that's when the new cycle begins. That's when, at the end of a long dark night, there's the dawn. You can see it right there. At the end of anything is a new beginning. And so that's the process. And this is, just keep at it. Keep at all the things we talked about, processing everything, and just realize that because of your North Node, you are connected to the greater universe and what goes on there. You aren't living your life in a vacuum. None of us are, but particularly your North Node is definitely connected to what's going on. And so you have to ride the path of this. And that's what makes it one of the more, powerful North Nodes, right? And gives you access because you, more so than most people that have other North Nodes, have access to this greater universe more so than others. So it's a positive thing. Anyway, I hope this reading was helpful to you and you found some value in it. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions in your life and would like a personal tarot reading tailored to your astrological chart, there's going to be a link in the description box below. Would love to give you more information on that. With that, I will say thank you for watching. Be strong, and let's go into the next half of the year super positive and moving forward. Many blessings.